Um, okay, so please let me know if I am audible or not, because I have this issue a lot of times while I'm doing the creating live stream. Like, this is the second one, but I have done a lot of live streams, and one of the big problems that I have faced a lot is bad audio. So please let me know if I'm audible to you or not. I will be responding to your messages that you drop on the chat, and we are going to create a sequence that was recommended to me or sort of suggested to me by a third. I don't remember their username completely, so my bad. So basically what we are trying to do is we are going to create a sequence involving Godzilla, specifically the MechaGodzilla version, which is sort of like the mechanized version, in when we were when there used to be like a Power Ranger series, and they used to have all these kind of mechs, and like, in different animals and whatnot. Like, I remember there was this show called Power Rangers Space Patrol Delta, or SPD, and they used to have all these big robots, and basically MechaGodzilla is somewhat similar to that. And yesterday I did a small live stream with a community called Jigsaw Minds on how to create your own production, not quite production level, but how to get started with cinematics and filmmaking and animations in Unreal Engine 4. And we took a look at some various tools like Mixamo. We can also use Adobe Fuse. I might do something related to that, showcasing what Adobe Fuse can do for beginner or amateur animators as well. It's a really easy tool. You should look that up. It's basically a 3D modeling tool where you just have to pick different body parts, like the look of the body parts, and it will create a 3D model of a human being, right? So that's what it does, and you can obviously ask your friends to join this live stream because I really want this to go well. I have been pushing a lot of my efforts into driving forward our community, and if like we get a good response over the course of 3 or 4 more streams that I'm going to do every week, I think we can also have like a small community on Discord or Telegram or whatnot. So this is a basic, okay, beware, this is not like a tutorial. I will be explaining what is my creative process, what I usually do when I am creating a 3D animated movie, but I won't be explaining all the technical stuff. So if you're here for getting to know a bit about my get a bit of glance on how I make various animated movies and what is the creative process behind that, make sure that you watch the whole thing. So in yesterday's live stream that I did with Jigsaw Minds, I basically created this small sequence where the mechanized Godzilla or MechaGodzilla is screaming. So I'm just going to remove the audio part. That's just like some horror music. I'm going to press play so that you can see how it actually looks like. Hold on just 1 sec. I'm going to save it and then press play. You can see that Godzilla is basically roaring. The lighting is a bit rough, but I think what we achieved in just under an hour and 40 minutes, this including the basics of Unreal Engine 4. So not just that, but I also had to explain all the user interface of that in under 1 hour and 40 minutes. Imagine the amount of content that I had to say out loud. It usually makes things easy if people are here to listen about the creative process and not just the software that you are working on, because softwares and various toolkits like mocap suits or VR glasses or whatnot or high-end cameras are just tools that you can use to create films, right? But the most important thing in filmmaking is your attitude, your creative process. What have you planned for the movie that you're trying to create? Hey everyone who have joined late, a little bit of context about what we are doing here today is we are going to create an animated sequence involving MechaGodzilla. So it's basically a mechanized version of Godzilla. I am going to remove all the I'll delete the sequence and I'll delete a lot of different stuff, and we are going to recreate the whole thing again, and I also mean the animation, because I really want this to stand out. Okay, so let's just go to sketchfab.com and let me just show you what model I chose, or we can go to directly mixamo.com because I already have the 3D model with me. So Mixamo is a website which is owned by Adobe at the moment, and basically you can have a 3D model uploaded to it, or you can choose from their character models, their library, and basically download their character in the format that Unreal Engine accepts, and also animations. You can download animations, right? So I have this Godzilla model right here, right? And first of all, let's just download the base mesh, right? So I'm just going to download it. So wait for a second. Downloading asset. and it's about 1.5 megabytes. And after it's done, I want to do a roaring, animation, right? So I'll do roaring, and there is a creature, there is a pre-built animation of a creature roaring, and let's try to have that kind of an effect. What I'll do is I'll increase the arm space by like a lot, so that I can show like the Godzilla is opening his arms, and we can maybe play with overdrive a bit, decrease it and see how it actually looks like. Maybe too much, so let's just get back to 50, or maybe try 60. Yeah, this actually looks good, and we can download this. We are going to download it without skin again. Download. Okay, so if you think that white MechaGodzilla might not be as stylized or as good looking as we are hoping it to be, I already have the texture files. So texture files are basically nothing but the information required to paint an object in Unreal Engine or any other 3D software. So I'm just going to create a folder called MechaGodzilla, and I'm going to import my 3D mesh first. So the 3D model for my Godzilla, it is a skeletal mesh, right? So if you're new to 3D stuff and Unreal Engine and Unity and Blender and whatnot, so basically a 3D mesh is a 3D object, any 3D object that you can interact within your software. And a skeletal mesh basically is something that will be animatable, right? So in the real world, we classify objects, or like classify everything on two terms, like one is living and the second is non-living, right? So skeletal mesh are living things, humans, cows, etc., characters and organisms, and various other things. And static meshes are non-animatable objects. Your table, your computers, any non-living thing is basically a static mesh, because it's going to be static, which is quite self-explanatory. Let me just create a folder called textures, and we are going to import our textures now. Okay, so I think I have stored its textures somewhere in my UV models folder. Okay, so I'm just going to include these. Quickly open the material file that was created and connect. Okay, so make sure you're like make sure that you're focusing on the creative process. First of all, we are just gathering all the assets. That's not very difficult as of now, because there are websites like sketchfab.com, from where I got this model. You can use turbosquid.com, you can use free3d.com, and like there are a lot of different softwares and websites where you can just create your 3D models and get 3D models for free that have been created by other people as well. Right, so it makes the work really simple. And okay, so we have our material here. So basically material is just using the 2D information, that is the textures, and converting it to 3D. So 3D file is material file, and I'm going to save it, and then we can apply it on our okay, so please ignore all the background noise. It's a bit crowded here. Okay, so eyes only have so I'm going to connect the base color of the eyes to base color node as well as emissive. So what emissive does is, emissive means basically glowing, and you'll see that our eyes have a bit glowing look. Let me just open the preview here. You can see that that it is glowing a bit, and if I disconnect it, it will lose its okay, so it's a bit dull now. So I'm just going to choose it because frankly it looks really good. And what we can do is we can create a blueprint that is like a custom class, and we can add our Godzilla to it, and we can add various kinds of lights, right? So let me just pull up the thumbnail that I created for this video. Okay, so we have eyes on the so we have lights on the eyes, and maybe we can add lights to various different parts of the body, and that might actually make it look really cool, just like we did in our sci-fi spaceship scene. We can do here as well. So I'll just create a blueprint class. I'm going to select character, and I'm just going to type in Godzilla. Okay, so I'll try to keep this stream a short one, because first of all, it's Dashera, so happy Dashera to all of you, and I don't want to be any hindrance, don't want to be of any hindrance to you celebrating a festival, and as well as there would be a celebration at my house too. There would be like a puja or some sort of thing in my house too today, so we'll try to complete this in the next 45 minutes, right? Don't worry, I won't be like going speed running anything. I'll just add a bit. Okay, so this looks really good. We can add spotlights in the eyes, so basically just directional light coming out from the eyes. That might actually look cool. And I was thinking that we can have chest lights. So we have two basically transparent rectangles which are glowing. I'm not sure that if I'm making myself understandable here. Okay, first of all, let's just add spotlights. So spotlight, and I'm going to hook that up to our 3D mesh, like I'll connect it. Okay, so if you have any questions or if you have like any suggestion of what should I do in the next live stream, I'm sorry, I might seem a bit distractive. Okay, so we have it here, our spotlight, and I'll just add it onto our eyes. Wow, my camera is really fast. Okay, 2 is better, and I'll just disable snapping so that I can move my object freely. I actually got the idea of this creating live streams from Clinton Jones, which is a VFX artist at Corridor Digital. It's like a VFX. Basically, they have a YouTube channel, and he is a VFX editor there, and they're all like CG wizards, right? How to stream like this? First of all, you need a decent PC, basically. Okay, so yeah, if I forgot to say hi to you, so hi Nandini, hi Dev, hi Kshitish. So if you want to do a live stream just like this, all you need to do is get a nice system. Okay. So we have 2 different light sources, and then you need to first of all get a good computer which has a good internet connection and stuff like that. Let's increase the inner cone angle a bit, and then you can focus on what you want to stream, what your audience is interested in. So I really like 3D development and these kind of things. So I basically I'm using here is a combination of Streamlabs OBS. So that's a specialized version of OBS, and I'm using various scenes there is a pack called Geometric Madness, and I've downloaded that so that I can get this bit of a stylized look, right? It has various scenes available, so if I want intermission, I can just press this and you can see on the YouTube live stream as well. Okay, so hi blogger, bye. A bit too cheesy, man, a bit too cheesy. Almost makes me, not believe you. Honestly, don't be so cheesy, man. Not with me, not with anyone in your life. Don't be so cheesy. Okay, so we have our spotlights ready, and when I'll add the Godzilla in our scene, you'll see that the lights are actually, shining. Also, let's add like static mesh. Just static mesh, and we'll keep the root folder, root or this main mesh. I'll call it, let's just call it Godzilla, so that it's easy for us to, okay, so cannot change the name, so let's change this one, chest light. I'm going to cylinder, cube. Let's just get a cube, right? So we have a cube here. I'm just going to scale it. Okay, maybe cheesy isn't that bad. I don't know, just got a text message. Right, disable snapping. Yes, I earn, and I don't earn money using these kind of tutorials. I don't work as a 3D artist anyway. This is just me having fun. Everyone has various kind of hobbies and things that they like. If you want to make a career in video gaming, I might have like a webinar on that. I think I did it quite some time back, so let's just scale this down. I am working as a software development engineering intern. God, that's mouthful. So I'm working at Halinx Tech. It's a insurance and tenant screening platform. It's I'll just give it a like yellowish texture. Can we give it the same texture as ice? No. That's just not good. Okay. Wow, so you have created your first and last 3D model. So you're not like into 3D development anymore, Dave. Like, that's a bit weird, because I don't think I'll ever leave this, kind of thing. So either we can place it like that, right, and I'll make them sort of glass-like material so that they won't be visible. Or what we can do is, like, we can bail on this completely, and let's just add rectilinear lights. So that should work, right? I'm going to scale this down a bit. So source height should be less, source width should be less. let's just add like a big chest piece, and it will be emitting white light, and you can see like it is actually visible. Let's just decrease the width a bit so that it doesn't so door angle should be something like this, so that the light doesn't fall on its own face. That would look weird, and we can increase the attenuation radius to quite a lot. We can increase the intensity a bit. Maybe 5000 is fine. We'll just experiment with it. How can I learn these skills? Okay, go to my channel after this stream and you can find a game development masterclass. I have covered pretty much everything related to game development. Okay, I won't be talking about my revenue or anything that kind of stuff, because that's not what I am here for. I'm just here for a good time and talk to you guys about what's going on in your life and whatnot. Okay, so let's just create a landscape and then we can add like a castle kind of a thing, like in the thumbnail. So I'm just going to sketchfab.com again. So sketchfab, right? And okay, so Nandini Sharma is sending pictures of cat in a box. Okay, so let's just type in castle. This is not my something that we would be want. We don't need like a castle. I don't know. Okay, I might need a little bit of your help here. What do you call something that is in the background? Maybe a Japanese castle? I don't know. Because since Godzilla is like a Japanese invention, so we can add like, because the structure does seem a bit Japanese, or not, but we can add like a military base in the background. Let's try to search military base. And I'll set it to downloadable, and if that does not work well for us, then we might need to go our own route. We might need to create our own environment, something that is not exactly like in the image. Okay, so I've selected downloadable and architecture. Okay, so this isn't that bad. We can use this. We can use this. Let's see, let's search a bit more, and if we don't find anything, maybe we'll roll with something completely different. Okay, no. Okay, what we can actually do is we can actually create a landscape and then we can add like a mountain in the back. Right, so let's try to do that. I'm just going to create a small landscape, or maybe a bit bigger. Right, and I'll add let me just set it to unlit so that we can see it. Right. Right, so this does look good. I mean, like we might need. Okay, right, this looks good. We can place our Godzilla on like a platform here, and we can have like right, so let's just smooth the platform for Godzilla, and then we can add a bit of a erosion here and there, right? And then we can play with like various things like the clouds in the sky, which will give. So I want my camera here, like it should look like something like this. So I'm just going to save this, and I will be placing my Godzilla here. Might need to increase the size of my buddy there because it's just too small. Okay, this looks like a good size. Okay, might be too big. Let me just decrease the size. And so what it does by pressing end key is just snaps it on the ground. So we have it on the ground. Let's go a bit up. Okay. Let's just use our landscape menu and just clear some of the, or like smoothen out completely. Okay, so this should work, right? I can close the landscape one, press end. Okay, this looks good, right? We won't be focusing on his I am going to completely ignore the chat. Anyways, let's move on. So I'm just going to press save. You can see we haven't built the lighting yet, and if you press right, so we don't have a lot of lighting. What I'm going to do is add a directional light. We already have that, but that's basically dictating how the sky should look, so I'm not going to change that. I'm going to open our thumbnail again and see where the lighting is coming from. So we have lighting from this side on the top right, and we can add like a directional light here. So I'm just going to do that as well. Where is it? Where is our directional lighting? I'm just going to set something like this. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm doing this. I think I'm doing this correctly. So, yeah, something like this. I'm going to decrease its intensity to 3 lux, and I am going to build the lighting so that we can see how it actually looks like. Okay, and I might give it a bit bluish shade, as well as we'll give the foggy effect so that we can view. I really hope that we can figure out a way to find a castle, because if we were able to do that, the scene would have like next level of epicness. Okay, too bright, maybe just let's add a bit of a bluish tint to it, darkish tint. And okay, so I'm going to decrease the source angle. Let's just keep it at 1.3. Indirect lighting should be 0. Volume scattering, let's keep it at 1.0. Should cast shadows. Maybe I can decrease, like let's just keep it at 0.5, and we can like increase it later on, right? Let's include light shaft oculization, light shaft bloom, save it, build our lighting again and see how it actually looks like. So what light shaft occlusion does is give God rays like effect. Okay, and what we can do is we can go a bit up, maybe change the angle a little bit so that, is it only me or is it like really that bright? Is it really this bright? Let's decrease the intensity to 0.5. Too dark, but I think 1.85 should be, something that we can work with. See, this is what takes a bit more time, like lighting your scene properly, because okay, for example, in this scene I just removed like the light coming from the top, then we would just have this blackish creature shouting in the dark, and this won't make it as dramatic as possible, right? The red light coming from behind, and all the little people being illuminated, little I mean in comparison with our champ, right? So okay, this might just work. I'll just increase the to 1.5. okay, this looks really good, and we can build the lighting once again. And what I'll do is I'll add fog, so exponential height fog. Basically exponential height fog does is let me just like show you how it actually works. So I can add a bit of a foggy effect. I'll darken the color a bit, right? Grayish color. I'll decrease the fog density. Right? You can actually play with the fog opacity, start distance. Let's keep it like that. Let's just right, so we have pretty much everything that we need to finish our scene. We have a bit of a smoke also. Let's see what we can do about that. Increase the fog density a bit. And we have atmospheric fog, right? So let's just change the properties of this as well. Right, let's select the sky sphere, make the horizon a bit more dark. Let's decrease the let's change the color of the sky. I'll also change the color of the night sky, make it a bit dark. Okay, so what we can do is we can just select this. Let's increase the let's try to increase or decrease the height on the cloud opacity. Let's see if that will work for us. So here is cloud speed. You can decrease it or increase it. Let's just increase. So we can see the clouds are moving pretty quickly. Let's decrease the sun brightness to 2. That really means a lot, Dave, because what I really enjoy doing is this kind of stuff, like just creating something out of the blue and being able to, showcase the work to the audience, and it just makes me feel really, rewarded, because it's all about the effort. If your audience recognizes the effort that the creator is putting in, it like makes a huge difference. So let's just decrease the fog intensity a bit, because that's just and I'll also decrease the light source intensity to 0.9. Okay, so we'll build the lighting once again, because we need to see how it actually looks like. And then what I can do is I can add a smoke particle effect all over, here, and you can share your views, like what can we add more. Like, I think what is really off-putting here is the rectilinear source of light. Maybe we can try switching that. To like 1500, right? So I think that does put an effect. So and let's make it out. Okay, so let's just place it back where it belongs, and press compile, save, and let's try to build the lighting again. See if we can get rid of all the haloish thing. Okay, so what we can do is we can add a post-process volume as well, and we are going to add infinite bounds so that it spreads across infinitely, and we can add occlusion, sky distance. Okay, let's just hold on to that. Let's add auto exposure, right? So we are going to add exposure, minimum brightness, match brightness, and try to build a lighting again. See what effect does that place. I'm really happy to see like even 7 people in the stream, because last time I had only like 2 concurrent viewers. Hey Omi, how you doing, man? I hope you are enjoying me, or like just seeing Godzilla in general. I don't know if that's something that will make you happy, or maybe let's try to do this. Right, let's try to horizontally change the position of the lighting. Okay, and build our lighting for the one last time, and then we'll set up our camera, then we'll add our animation. Okay, so we already have our animation. It's just that we'll import it and place it in our scene. Okay, so it's actually looking quite good. Okay, so are there any views, like what should I do more in this scene? So you can see god rays falling from the back. This actually gives a really good feel to our scene. Let's try to change the, lighten up the color of our light here, or maybe like keep it like that. No, I've been meaning to try it. If you have, do you want to share your experience? Maybe that might actually help. I've seen a lot of ads, like it's something about like creating games in that piece of software. Let's say increase the opacity of the clouds a bit so that, wow, okay. I am clearly confused as to why there is this light coming from. Maybe it's just embedded in the model, or maybe is this the reason? We just increase the light. Okay, yeah, so that was the reason. Just let's save it again. So turns out having or what we can do is 0.00001. Okay, 0.001. Yep, this works, and we can play with our other lighting. This looks good. Maybe disable snapping and try to finding a middle point. Okay, this looks good. Okay, so we have finally figured out our lighting. You can see the spotlight, lights eyes actually glowing. Let's try to add our rectilinear light once again. I'm so sorry, I'll have to do it again. I'll connect it to the source. Decrease the width. Okay, decrease the height. Increase the angle, or decrease the angle. Or maybe we can add like a spotlight from behind. Maybe we can add like a big spotlight from behind, because we are clearly seeing the light being, the scene being lit up from behind. We can just add something like this. I'll just increase the attenuation radius. Okay. Again, let's match the aesthetic for scene, or maybe we can add like a bit of a reddish accent, give this scene a bit more pop, as the cool kids say. I don't think anyone says that, but I'm going to roll with it. Increase the decrease and change the angle. Let's build it one last time. I promise this is the last time we are building, right? Let me just open your live chat. I'm sorry, I might have forgotten to take your. Okay, let's add our cinema camera actor. I'm going to pilot it. So basically piloting is nothing but, okay, we already had an actor. I'm just going to delete it. Okay, so this is what we can see from the view of our camera. I'm just going to place it in a way where we can only see our Godzilla and our scenery. Nice. I'm going to exit it. Make sure to hit subscribe please, and hit like, share it with your friends who want to get into animation or whatnot. You know, let's just set the camera to 16:9 DSLR. Decrease the focal length, 35. Okay, so I think this should work really well. Okay, so we have our camera set up. All I'm going to do is save the level and import our animation, creating a new folder called animation. And I'm going to add the mutant roaring animation, and I'm going to select our skeleton. I'm going to wait for a second, and it's almost done. Like okay, so imagine creating one particular scene in just an hour. It's pretty nuts, right? So anyone watching, working in like ILM, or people working on Godzilla movies or Marvel movies, please, you can reach out to me. Let's just call it level sequence. I'm going to save it. I'm going to add my Godzilla, and I'm going to add my camera. Okay, so let's add, first of all, view our scene through the perspective of our camera. Looks really good. I'm sorry for being this being so small. It's just a 16:9 aspect ratios thing. I wish I could zoom it, but certainly cannot. I'm going to add an animation called mutant roaring, and I'm going to short down my sequence up until that is going to end. Right, and then we can add a fade track, or basically a sound effect in which Godzilla is roaring. Oh, this actually looks really good. Maybe just place the camera in a better position. So save it, press play. Okay, this went down too fast because the big size of this monster, or like this creature, is like, the creature is so big, we need to slow the animation down. So what I'm going to do is decrease the play rate to 0.6. We'll start with 6 because most of the things that I do are hit and trial. So we are going to increase our animation to around 180, 190, 200 frames per second, and let's again press play. Or what we can do is we can add a blueprint here, blueprint node, that will basically dictate our animation to be played. So let me just do one small thing here. Level sequence, just grab that, press right click, and just type in play sequence player. Okay, now just connect this, and now when we press play, you can actually see. This actually looks really good. Let me just play this again for you. Let's try to decrease the size, let's just decrease to 0.5, build lighting again, and see once you get enough experience with the software that you're working on, and when you hit and do a hit and trial thing, chances are it will work really quickly. This looks really good, and I'm really happy with the end result, and this looks really good. Maybe we can place maybe we can slow down a bit even more. Let's just say 0.4 and see if that works. And then what we can do is we can render our movie like we did last time. We render one sequence, right? Right, so it is not opening its mouth, but it does seem really good, and the big and the slow animation justifies its big size, right? And what we can do is we can give it a bit of a camera shake when it places its leg. So it's basically stomping. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the camera, and when it's the moment it says, I'm going to tilt it a bit. First of all, I'm going to place some keyframes here and there. Then here the leg hits the ground, and then after a few frames, or like the next frame, I can like tilt it a bit. I can rotate my camera. Let me just it's a really tricky thing to do. And the next, that, and then just come back to your normal orientation, and let's see how it actually see. So our camera shook a bit, right? So you can do these kind of things to basically justify your I'm not sure why my camera moved there, but it did seem to work out. Maybe we can add more shakes to it, right? So we have at 107, and we can add that at 1010. Let's add at 108. So what I'll do is I'll add another shake, so it tilts on the right, and then at 109 it will go back to here, then at 110 it will go back to here, and then at 1011 it will come back to its original position. Save it, press play, and see. So once we saw a bit of a camera shake there, and it looks really good. So now it's finally time to render our movie, and I'm going to be posting this on my Twitter as well as LinkedIn as well as Instagram. So make sure you follow me there. All you need to do is for rendering is press this render button. Let's render this. So we are going to click capture movie. It's going to take a while. Let's just wait for a second. I'm going to put on the intermission one. So okay, while it's capturing, why don't you open Instagram on your phone and hit follow at ishanvora2. You can go to Twitter at ishanvora4 and hit follow. You can press that subscribe button, just smash that to death. and I'm hoping to reach 200 subscriber really soon. So why don't you help me with that, and I'll just keep on doing this creator live streams. So maybe this is the one that we just made. Let's figure that out. Yep, this is the one, and this is our okay. So I forgot to change the scene. This is our movie. Okay, so let's watch it all together. Right. I'm going to press play. And there we have it. We have our animation sequence. Maybe if we place our camera at a more proper angle, like in our initial frame we have placed it in a bit of a good position. And like when the camera shake is over, maybe we can come back to our natural state. Right, so now if we press play and finally see our movie, it looks really nice. Let's just spread that camera shake a bit. Okay, so that is pretty much it, and this is what we have created. I know this wasn't what I advertised, like the thumbnail, but we came really close. And this is a great movie, and we can add audio to it, and I'll just post the final result on my Twitter, Instagram. So why don't you hit follow, and let me just change the scene again, and I'll save the project so that I can come back to it in a while. And alright, so follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook, if that's a thing. If anyone's grandfather is here and they're still using Facebook, you can come here. And I will end the live stream in about 2 or 3 more minutes. Let me just play a nice music for you. Alright, so I'm just waiting for your final views. How did you like the stream? Thank you, Blogger Bhai. You were a really good audience today. And thank you, Dave. Thanks, Omi. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Nandini. Thanks, Shitesh. I'd request everyone to please, don't spam income related questions, because that really makes me uncomfortable. The topic, the money topic is really makes me a bit weird. If you're joining right now, if you're coming back to this live stream, I'd love to show you the end result. Just hit follow on these social media profiles, and you'll see the end result, what we were able to create on live stream live here. Okay, so thanks for joining, and yeah, catch you later. Adios. Bye bye.
I said